Hi all, my name is Trey. I'm very happy to be here tonight. I'm going to talk to you guys about HDR photography, and I think by the end of this I can make you love HDR as much as I do. Well, HDR is an acronym for High Dynamic Range. This is the first HDR picture to hang in the Smithsonian. It made my mom very proud. It's a beautiful Austin, Texas. We really live in a gorgeous place here. It's a fantastic place to capture. Maybe you guys are like me, and actually I bet a lot of you guys are, and you picture your life like a storybook, right? I feel sometimes like I'm in this Tolkien-esque novel, and people and characters and scenes come in and out of my world. And I remember them in this very rich, saturated, kind of cinematic way. And I try to capture it as such. Now, we all walk around with cameras nowadays. We all have little iPhone cameras, or people are just now getting DSLRs and getting their feet underneath them. And when you take a photo, it doesn't quite capture it, does it? You know, it's more like you're documenting it in a light way. Oh, that's better, thank you. Oh, well, short-lived like many things in life. And so, you know, we really want to capture the world as we see it, don't we? What we can't do is use a traditional camera to get all the light range that our eye can actually see. Now, I have taught thousands of people around the world how to do this kind of photography. I'm sure I can teach you guys too. I'm convinced of it. We have a free HDR tutorial on stuckincustoms.com. The website's at the end, you don't have to write it down. But it will teach you exactly how to do this kind of stuff. I see the world like this. I apologize for the poor picture quality up here. You cannot really see this as it actually is, so you will eventually when you visit the website. Now, going back to science class, maybe you guys remember this. 400 to 700 nanometers is what we can see in the EM spectrum, but right below 700 nanometers is infrared. That's heat. That's thermal heat that we can feel. So where our eyes stop recording, our skin starts recording. And our brain doesn't remember images the way a computer does. You know, a computer keeps JPEGs. That's not the way the brain works. The brain is this rich neural network of feelings and emotions, and if you can get these reds and these blues from these Texas sunsets burning through, you can make the viewer feel warmth. You can make them feel these things. It's on a very subconscious level. Now, my background is all in computer science and math, so I think about everything in terms of algorithms. So the camera and software, you can come up with an analogy between the eye and the brain. The eye itself doesn't really know that much. The brain is what interprets it. So the more you use your left brain to kind of understand this stuff, and then use your right brain to execute on it, it's a little bit like when you're Luke and you turn off the targeting computer and then you just let go, right? I like to say the left brain is for getting through life and the right brain is for living. There's something with our educational system where science and art are on these orthogonal paths, and that's not quite right. I think it should all be part of one. That's the way it is in our house. We homeschool. These are my beautiful kids. This is how I remember Christmas, right? Happy kids, a roaring fire, and that's how I captured it. That's how I remember it. This is a beautiful treetop temple in Kyoto, Japan. These cinematic places I can only capture in HDR. And I look back and I think, oh, these little Ewok villages down here, very, very mysterious and interesting. I think that so much of life is really about adventure, right? That's what we all want, isn't it? Just a little bit of adventure or a lot of adventure. And I know the kind of people that come to places like this. You do see yourself on an adventurous path, and you are in the middle of a wondrous story. And you owe it to yourselves to be able to capture it and look back on it and share it with other people. Things like this, when you're in a beautiful place like New York with all these light levels, this is in the far north near Iceland, you need to be able to capture these places and show your friends and family and your world what it's like. But most importantly, you do it for yourself, right? That's why we all continue to educate ourselves, because we want to be interesting to ourselves. You're the only central character in your story. So I invite you to go out there, capture the world as you see it, and make it so. Thank you very much.